Whoa. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. My name is Roman, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Dang. I'm not the genius bill passed. I'm not sure what all that is. But it should be good for getting Bitcoin, right? Let's see what happens. Yeah. Sorry, I just saw it like right before I got on. I didn't have time to actually research it, so maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow, what it means and what it actually does for Bitcoin. Shout out, round of applause for the live studio audience going on for Mr. Hard Huddle. So Carlos Aramillo in the house, what up? DCA to BTC. Carlos has a question. Let's kick things off with Carlos' question then. I got a question that I can't answer lately. How much would you value an hour of your work in Satoshis without just exchanging your hourly wage in USD to BTC? What makes you choose that amount? How much would you value an hour of your work in Satoshis without... Oh, I see what you're saying. Like how many Satoshis is an hour of your work worth if we didn't have the dollar reference, right? And Hard Huddle says depends on how close to the sun you want to be. Stacking hard is gonna get hot. Yeah, that's a good question, right? Because even if we don't intend to, right now, I guess Bitcoin is priced in dollars from our perspective, right? But if we didn't have the dollar to give us some kind of some kind of reference, what would an hour of your labor be worth, right? That's a great question. I unfortunately don't have an answer, but it's a good topic. It's a good question to ponder. It's like one of those questions that they ask you in Zen meditation. They ask you, what is the sound of one hand clapping? What is the sound of one hand clapping? And they never tell you the answer because the whole point is for you to go and meditate on that, right? The whole point is for you to go and think about that. So what is the value? How many Satoshis is 1 hour of your labor worth if you're not using the dollar as a reference? Just Satoshis as a reference. How many Satoshis is an hour of your labor worth? That's a great question, Carlos. Super good. Right now the answer is I don't know. I'm seeing something on my eye right here. It's weird. What is that? A little bump or something? Anyway, it's weird. But yeah, that's a great question. If you guys have any suggestions, any ideas on what your thoughts are about that question, just put them in the comments. You know what? Let's do one of these things where like we jump into the first segment of the show, and let's kick things off with where's my page? I don't think I got my page up. Do I? Stack Bitcoin Show. There it is. I don't even think I had it up. There it is. Browser. Okay, it's there. Cool. All right, now let's get into the first topic of the show. The Bitcoin strength. We'll get to this fast, and then we'll go back to the question at hand. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $119,850.87. You can buy 834 Satoshis. 834 Satoshis for a single dollar. What is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar contains 100 cents, a Bitcoin contains 100 million Satoshis. That's important because you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can buy it in small increments. And you don't need to save up to buy Bitcoin. You save in Bitcoin. That is the magic. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that one single penny will buy you 8.35 Satoshis today. And that is the Bitcoin strength. Oh, that was a quick one. Hit it fast. The crowd goes wild. Context right now on Venezuela, most of the U.S. dark markets have been closed, and there isn't anymore a way to quote bolivars to USD. Only the central bank imposed rate, which is fake. That's true. So there's no free market to decide how many bolivars you're getting for a dollar, right? Yeah. That's crazy. That's a good point. So, yeah. Still, I guess like there might be a way to figure it out based on this how difficult it is to earn a Bitcoin, to make a Bitcoin, to get like 1,000 sats, right? Like 0.1 Bitcoin, 0.01 Bitcoin, right? And it might be based on like your cost of living, right? If it costs you X amount of Bitcoin to live per month, I don't know. It's a complicated question, but I like it. It's a good question. I like it. It gives you a lot of stuff to think about, right? Let's get into the next topic of the show. I know I'm rushing through the first two segments because I want to talk a little bit more about this question or just whatever else comes up. But let me get to the intro so we get that done, guys. Give me a second. Okay, let's jump into the next topic of the show, and that of course is why we stuck. Keeping things quick and to the point. Let's get there. Okay, why we stack. It's a segment of the show dedicated to beginners that are starting to look into Bitcoin to help you guys understand that Bitcoin is unique. It's the best asset you can invest into because it's growing at a crazy rate of about 50% year over year. Yeah, it might not perform that way in the future, but so far so good. Just by saving in Bitcoin and holding the value of your hard-earned work in Bitcoin, you, in essence, are growing your purchasing power against the dollar or against your local government money that you're using in your country. Okay, and it's very easy. All you gotta do is buy the Bitcoin, take the Bitcoin into self-custody, and hold on to it. That's all you gotta do. Okay, and then slow and steady, as you'll see in the stack recap here on the show in a couple minutes, the value of your savings increases over time, and you're able to spend less and less Bitcoin for the same things. And if you don't save in Bitcoin, you have to spend more and more money for the same things, right? And if you take those two concepts all the way out to the end, whatever the end happens to be, in the fiat system, in the money system, in the government money system, you end up working your whole life and have nothing to show for it in the end. While on the Bitcoin system, on the Bitcoin standard, you work less and less to maintain the same lifestyle. And in the end, you might not even have to work at all because the value of your savings has grown so much that it's giving you back your time. It's giving you back your time, allowing you to retire sooner, and not necessarily just retire, but just not have to work sooner. Free you up to do whatever it is you like to do with your time instead of working. Because I know some of us work those jobs we have because they're the best paying jobs we could find, but it's not necessarily the best job that we like to do. It's not necessarily the job that we want to do, but it's just the one that pays the bills, right? So that is partially why we stack. The main concept that we're trying to get across here on the show is the following. We save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That is why we stack. That's right. To the point. Slaying the segments today, guys. Going so fast. What up? Carl says, only the central banks input. Okay, sorry. I've been trying to come up with a way, and I'm and it's mind blowing. Yeah, it's difficult. Okay, the way I would approach it would be try to figure out some way that I would make it more of a correlated to the cost of making things, the production cost of things, as opposed to, I don't know, it's hard, dude, right? Like how much value is your labor adding, right? If your labor is adding, if you're doing something for somebody else that doesn't want to do it, they just want to pay you for it, right? And you're just doing that one thing, there's no multiple to it. It's just basically like digging a hole, right? Like so you're paying, like someone's paying you to dig a hole that they don't want to dig, right? And it's just for the sake of digging a hole. I don't care what the hole is for, right? That pay rate might be different than if somebody was paying you to dig a hole. Well, let's say dig a trench. Somebody's paying you to dig a trench just because they don't want to dig a trench. You don't care what the trench is going to be used for. Okay. So then you're gonna get paid X amount to dig that trench. And what if someone else says, okay, I need you to dig this trench because we're gonna put in some piping so that my house can have plumbing. Okay, is that trench now is gonna provide more value to that home? And since you're the one digging the trench, do you get some of that value because of that? Right? Does that make it's still the same amount of work for you to dig that trench, right? But your trench, the trench that you dug, gives more. What's it called? The trench that you dug gives more value, right? But it's the same amount of work, whether you dug it for the sake of digging the trench or you dug it for the sake of somebody getting plumbing, right? Or what if you dug the same trench, same amount of digging, same amount of work? I'll say a day's worth of work, but you're digging in an area where the person that's having you dig is looking for diamonds or looking for gold, right? And in that trench digging, you find some gold or you find some diamonds or something, right? It's just an example, okay? Should you be paid more because now your digging provided a lot more value to the person that's paying you for the hole, for the digging, right? So I think that has to do something that has, like, that concept is a similar concept to, like, okay, well, somebody's working for what's the cost of somebody working for an hour of manual labor, and the cost of somebody working for an hour in a job where, like, that requires them to think, right? Like, say in an hour I come up with a crazy business idea or an idea for a tool, a solution, a product. In that 1 hour, I come up with an idea for a product that grosses the company like millions of dollars, right? Is that 1 hour worth more? Like, what are you paying for? That's where it gets too many variables for me to, like, comprehend. Like you're saying, adds more value. Just like the drainage, the previous owner put in the drain land to the waterfront, and the road he put in. Yep. So stat wise, maybe you can have input on this. We're trying to figure out, based off of Carlos's question, if you're not using the dollar to base your salary off of as a reference, how do you figure out how much you want to get paid in Satoshis or in Bitcoin without using the dollar as a reference? That's what we're trying to figure out. Like, yeah, well, I guess it depends on how much value you're creating, and whether you're aware of the value you're creating too, right? Because it's like at that point it becomes a salary negotiation, right? Like, okay, well, Satwise is going to hire me to dig a hole. He's going to say, I'm going to pay you 1,000 Satoshis. That's pretty cheap. I'm going to pay you 10,000 Satoshis to dig a hole in my backyard. And you don't know what it's for or whatever. Okay, cool. Whatever. 10,000 Satoshis is 10,000 Satoshis. I'm digging that hole, right? And it takes me an hour. Right? Or he could say, hey, my backyard is a gold mine. Or there's diamonds in my backyard and I need you to dig them up for me. Like, I might be more I might want more pay, right, than that, even though I'm doing the same amount of work, right? The diamonds in the ground are useless to Satwise, and for whatever reason he can't dig, right? So he's got to ask me to dig. I'm gonna say, hey man, you can't dig, so I need to get a little bit more paid on this digging project, right? Now all of a sudden it's a project, right? So it's interesting. It's a cool question. It's an interesting question. But yeah, here we are at 120,000 again, $330 Bitcoin. On our way to all-time high. Do we hit all-time high today, guys? The bill passed, right? The Genius bill passed. I think that's supposed to make it to where the US can use stable coins now, or they regulate stable coins. It's gonna make it to where they can't do CBDCs allegedly. And I forget what the third part is. I think the third part is I forget the third part of it is. There's like a Bitcoin specific one of that, right? Do you know what they are? If you do, let me know. Put in the comments. Let's see, the Genius bill. Is it a bill or an act? Look it up real quick. Effective date of 18 months after the date of enactment. So in 120 days. Anti-money laundering. Within 30 days of the date enacted, a 60-day period thereafter, Secretary of the Treasury will seek public comment to identify innovative or novel methods, techniques, or strategies that regulate the financial institutions use or have the potential to use, detect illicit, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Summary of the Genius Act. Permitted payment of stablecoin issuer. Yeah, PPSI. Permitted payment stablecoin issuer. The primary regulated entity under the Genius Act is the issuer of payment stablecoins. Under the Genius Act, an entity becomes a PPSI via 3 potential routes, of which required application from the issuer and approval by the regulators. Issuer or depositor institutions can issue payment stablecoins through the subsidiary. Oh, I see what they're doing here. Non-banks, uninsured national banks, and federal branches of foreign banks can become PPSI by applying to and receiving approval from OCC. Non-banks that issue payments stablecoin in aggregate amounts equal to less than 10 billion can alternatively opt to apply to the relevant state payment stablecoin regulator. Okay. Digital asset service provider. The Genius Act also defines the category of the category of entity that transfers and provides custodial service for digital assets. A digital asset service provides and do that. Okay. The Act excludes. Okay. The Genius Act establishes a framework for regulation and oversight by the appropriate federal state. Okay. I just get the summary of this thing. What's going on? Honestly, what a great question, Carlos. Yeah. That question is really good. In issuance and okay. I need the Cliff Notes version of this, bro. What does it do? What does it do? Did it pass already? I think it passed. Yeah, I think it passed today, right? Just now. Four things this means for banks. Let's see. Let's put it up on the screen so we can see so we can make a reference. Stablecoin gain legitimacy and clarity. I see. So if banks are able to deal with stablecoins, that's going to make it easier for banks to deal with Bitcoin too, right? Banks may face new competition from special purpose depository institutions. So yeah, like the Senate version of the bill includes controversial provisions allowing special purpose depository institutions, SPDIs, such as Kraken, to operate across U.S. states without the approval of each host state's banking regulator. Ooh, that's good for Kraken, I guess. If a bill, okay. Rising expectations from real-time money movement. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Bank needs to stay agile. Okay, this is just like the different things we're talking about. Anyway, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. That's probably why Bitcoin is pumping right now, right? It's pumping good. It's up to 120. It's on its way to 121. It's good. We should have bought Bitcoin at the beginning of the show. It's all right. We keep buying and keep doing what we do. Let's get into the next topic of the show before this thing goes to the moon again, and then we're buying the local high again. Here we go. It's time for the stack recap, because we don't only talk about buying Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it every weekday without fail. Boom. Oops. Wrong page. Boom. There it is, our stack for 2025. We're currently up 28.21% on our savings just in 2025. We are up 100% on our savings for 2024. There it is, a proof of work. Straight and to the point. And for the whole lifespan of our show, the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve of the Stack Bitcoin Show, we are up 118.4%. That is the stack recap. Dang. Look at that. And we're doing good. We are currently at 0.39626667 Bitcoin. And we are $449.47 away from 0.4 Bitcoin. And eventually on our way to one whole Bitcoin. That is the goal of the show. But hey, if we never get to one Bitcoin, we're not going to be mad about it. We tried our best, and 0.4 Bitcoin is better than no Bitcoin, I'll tell you that much. Okay? All right. So that said, the next order of business, now that we know that in 2025, our average buy price is $97,000. The actual price is $120,000. So today we're going to buy $20 worth of Bitcoin for the Stack Bitcoin Show. Let me end this track and kick off the next track, because now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. Oops. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. Let's go. Here we go. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now on the Stack Bitcoin Show via the Strike app. Strike. Boom. Check it for privacy. There it goes. Buying 2-0 right now at the latest high at $120,000 Bitcoin. We're buying $20 worth. Hit next. Cut the music. Drum roll, please. Oh, select the money payment. There it is. Confirm. Right now, we're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now during the show. Live. We do this Monday through Friday, guys. And just like that, we've accumulated an additional 16,363 Satoshis have been added to the stack. Dang, dude, that's like hardly anything anymore. Is it time to bump up the daily? Is it time to bump up the daily stack amount? What do you think? The price of Bitcoin we deserve today is 121,000. How'd I get 121,000, bastards? 121,000 and $65.82 Bitcoin. That spread's a little wide. 0.000163363 Bitcoin. And that is 16,363 Satoshis. It's wild. Going over to our strategic Bitcoin reserve document and stacking that into the stack. Bam. We keep going slow and steady. All right, so it looks like, ooh, we're pumping up even more. Pump it up. Pump it up. Right now, that's our buy for today. Out of all of our buys, only 3 of our buys are in the negative, including today's buy. Everything else is in the positive. Wild. All right, our new balance for the show is 0.3964330 Bitcoin. And we are $430.71 away from 0.4 BTC. 356,970 Satoshis are still needed to get to the 0.4 Bitcoin. Man. Once again, buying the high. Buying the local high. That's what we do all day. All right. So, I have some good news. Okay. Yeah. Change the track over here. I like this track right now. It's one of my favorites. Okay. So, I had I like to use my credit cards to get points on stuff I'm paying for anyway, right? And I had a credit card linked up to my Jiu-Jitsu Academy membership. And of course, I'm paying for 3 memberships, right? I'm paying for myself and I'm paying for my 2 kids. That's like 3 memberships. It's a significant hit. And that credit card that I was using before was giving me maybe I don't know 2 or 3% back on that card, and it would just be points, right? Points for that card. And what I would do is I would take those points and just use them to deduct from my balance, right? So basically use the points that I'm earning from the credit card and use that to pay off part of the as a credit in my bill. And of course I pay off those cards. I pay off the card every month. So it doesn't get interest, but I'm still getting the points, right? And so it's in a way it's giving me like maybe I don't know 2% off or 3% off of my Jiu-Jitsu membership, right? On Tuesday, I went and I changed my membership card to my new card, right? To my Gemini card. And today I saw the one of the transactions go through on the Gemini card for that same gym membership, okay? And guess how much, if you guys already saw in the Discord, don't answer, but guess how much Bitcoin back that I get on that transaction? What percentage I got back on those charges? Guess what percentage? If you already know, don't comment. But anyway, I'm just gonna tell you guys. I'm super excited. I got 10% back. That's crazy, right? Across 3 memberships, that's 10% back on each of those charges. So I'm like, damn, it's like it's a significant cash back on that one, you know? So yeah, if you're not on that Gemini card yet, guys, you should definitely be on it. It is, I plan on using it the same way I've been using my other card, which is just, I have it linked to my gym membership and I have an automatic payment set up to like, every month it just gets paid off all the way like through. But you're still earning the Satoshis back, right? And that can become significant, yeah. Like I wish I had been doing, like, this is a new card, right? Some of you guys have had it for a while, but I wish I would have been doing it since I started jiu-jitsu. Man, I have so much money. I have so much cash back on that thing, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like over 2 years, right? So I'd have a ton of payments back, and those Satoshis, I mean, they're actual Bitcoin. So, right, the best part is you can self-custody your rewards instead of the company gatekeeping points. Yeah, that's so rad. That's so true. Very true, Hard Huddle. Very true. Okay, so I know I shared this with you guys yesterday, but I'm gonna put it in the comments one more time because it's worth. If you don't have this card yet, get it. Okay. And if you use this, this link, I think you get, let's see, use my referral code and Gemini card and get an extra. Yeah. If you use my referral code, you get $50 in crypto. It's not bad. It's in the chat. There it is. Companies will also devalue your points. Yeah, that's true. I've noticed that. You know what really chapped my rear? Have you guys seen Dumb and Dumber? You guys know what I mean? You know what really chaps my behind? I had like over 50,000 points on my loyalty program. It's not a credit card, but I had over 50,000 points on the Firehouse subs. And those bastards changed it, dude. They changed the thing, and it took me to zero. They changed the rules, and they made it to where like I lost all my points. I was like, you bastards. That pissed me off so much, dude. I stopped going there. I boycotted them. I stopped going to Firehouse subs after they jacked me for 50,000. No, it was like 52,000 or 57,000. I had enough reward points to get one of those like party packs, right? And my plan was to take the kids out to the park with their friends and bring the party pack, right? When I went to do it, my freaking points were gone, dude. Can you believe that? It's not right. It's not right, Firehouse subs. You did me dirty. You did me dirty, Firehouse subs. Anyway, yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, so here, as we see, Bitcoin at $120,890 continues to go up. The Genius Act passed, or the Genius Bill passed. Institutions are going to be able to use to hold and use and custody and issue stable coins. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that's going to make it easier or harder to print dollars for the banks? It's going to make it easier. Can you imagine the amount of inflation that's going to bring, right? Because, geez. Or the bubble that's going to cause if they're printing. Yeah, I don't even know the economics of how all that's going to work, dude. But all I know is that to me it sounds like more money printing, right? It's a different style of money printing, right? But it's still more money printing, right? And they're going to let the banks issue new money. The banks issue stable coins. If that's right, man, we got a whole lot of inflation coming in, right? So now more than ever, it's more important to start to save in Bitcoin, because once that unlock happens, universal basic income brought to you by artificial intelligence, right? We'll see. 3% Bitcoin back on Firehouse subs with Gemini. It's all right. I'm gonna go on Subway, dude, just to spite them. 3% back. 3% back. 3% Bitcoin back from Firehouse subs. But where's my 50,000? But where's my 50,000 Firehouse points? The Firehouse subs has joined the list of the DTM. Firehouse subs has joined the DTM list, the dead to me list. Firehouse subs, you're officially dead to me because you jacked my points. But yeah, it's pretty wild. That's all I got for you guys today. Continuing to stack, guys. I'm having difficulty finding stuff to raise extra cash to continue to stack harder. It's getting harder and harder to stack. I'm a Jimmy John's. I'm gonna try Jimmy John's. Okay. I will book at Firehouse subs because of you. Nice. I'm gonna try Jimmy John's. Jersey Mike's is good too. Yeah, Jersey Mike's is good. I haven't been to Jimmy John's, I don't think. So I'm gonna try Jimmy John's, and I'll let you guys know what percentage back I get at Jimmy John's. But dude, that's so good. That card is legit, man. That card is like, gee, it's good. I mean, it's money you're gonna spend anyway. Might as well get some Bitcoin for it. You know? So good deal. Good deal. All right. let's start the show. Let's start wrapping up the show with let the pump take us out. The pump. If you like Firehouse subs, you won't like Jimmy John's. I like all kinds of subs. I like Jimmy. I'll try Jimmy John's. My favorite kind of sub is a kind of sub you get at like a pizza parlor, where they toast it in the pizza oven, and everything's like melty and awesome. That's the kind of sandwich I like with like mustard, some jalapenos on the side. Cheers. Good stuff, and a pitcher of beer. Cheers. Making myself hungry. All right, boys. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. Yeah. But remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. But quick announcement, guys, before I sign off. Next week, I might take the whole week off. Yeah, I'm not sure yet, but I might. I'll let you guys know for sure tomorrow. But just so you know, I wanted to see if I can actually produce a bunch of videos for this channel, and I want to take a week off to do it, so I can get a bunch of videos recorded, edited, and ready to go and scheduled. Have myself a little queue of videos for the channel, and so I can give myself a little bit of a space so I can start adding to that queue, and I have a little queue going already, so I don't stop making weekly videos on this channel that are in addition to the live streams. Okay, all right. But I'm still going to continue to stack. We're still going to stack hard and continue to stack the whole week next week. And then when I come back on the following Monday, I will give you guys an update on where we're at with the stack. And I might even jump on if we're getting close to the 0.4 Bitcoin. I'll jump on and we'll do a quick live just so you guys can see the 0.4 swap over. And we'll see how that goes. Not 100% sure yet if that's what I want to do, but I'll tell you guys tomorrow for sure. Okay? All right, boys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. And remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.